And right there, if HBAR reached the all-time high market cap of Dogecoin, that would be over a $3 HBAR with the current circulating supply. What's up guys, Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. Let's go over HBAR in today's video and I hope you enjoy. So first up, a few things that I was tweeting today and I want to just kind of add onto it to make myself a little more clear is this. So looking at the Bitcoin price chart before we dive into a variety of altcoins, we can see Bitcoin from the lows back in November, 15,500. It pushed over 50% and it went as high as about 23.7, a 50% move for Bitcoin. And this typically can push a lot of lower cap alts a lot higher. We had Alliance Block, we had Gala, we had LCX, Fetch, Kilt, a variety actually do, whether it was a 200% increase or even a 400% increase plus. So we have Alliance Block, did a 4x move. We have Gala, almost a 4x move. We have LCX, over a 5x move. And we have FET or Fetch AI, over a 5x move. Now, some of these are smaller caps, but they still get that volume. So bottom line is yes, alts have a smaller market cap. They can be a lot more volatile. They can be riskier, but also have more upside than just Bitcoin. So anywhere from a 200 to even a 480% move for just these four alts, whereas Bitcoin just moved about 50%. Now, of course, if Bitcoin comes back down to 20K, everybody's going to say crypto's a scam once again, just like clockwork. But this was a great move for Bitcoin to make to get back to some of those levels and get that liquidity back into the market before the FTX debacle. Now going side by side, we have Fetch AI on the left on the daily time frame, and we have the HBAR price chart, the same exact time frame. And remember that alts like FET absolutely rocketed since their November low, doing over a 5x return all the way up to this 500-day moving average. And I know that may be a funny sounding moving average to use, but I've actually been using it with different analysis. In zooming out, going back to March 2020, FET was one of those assets from its all-time low, doing over a 160x return. $1,000 turns into 160K. So looking at HBAR, we actually got that rise up, but we have not moved, 300, 400%. The market cap is a bit larger, but it's great to see we did a 120% move, or over a 2x thus far. So I'm looking at different structures. Of course, Fetch is one of the most bullish examples, but I wanted to show you the confluences between this, MA, and the 236, and then a few things I went over 2 weeks ago. So of course, if Bitcoin comes back down to 20K or even HBAR comes back down just below that 200 MA, everybody's going to call it a bad coin, just like clockwork. And in reality, we just have to let the charts draw and breathe. So I tweeted this today talking about 15 cents for HBAR in 2023. And I just wanted to show you side by side, drawing a Fibonacci retracement from the all-time high for FET to the low. Same thing for HBAR. We can see that Fetch actually made it all the way up to that MA, very close to the 236. In sizing it up to HBAR, we can see 16 cents. Now, I was actually considering 15 cents, and I'll show you why, because of the increase in the supply for HBAR. You can look at the Hedera Treasury Management Report, the release schedule for some of these tokens. So as we scroll down, we can see the schedule in the distribution of the tokens. So let's actually scroll all the way over so we can see the future distributions. And now we can see Q1 2023, Q2, Q3, Q4. And as we scroll down, we can see the total increase or the circulating supply. And if you'd like to look at this yourselves, you can type in Hedera Treasury Report right here, and it should be the first link. So one thing I want to point out is 2 weeks ago during this video, Hedera HBAR price chart right here, and I uploaded this, let's see, January 7th. And just going over Bitcoin, looking at a key retracement level of 42,000, and this was when Bitcoin was just under 17K. HBAR was under 4 cents at 3.9 cents. What I wanted to do is look at some key levels for Bitcoin at the 50% retracement, even during bear markets or during retracements, or even a blow off top, which of course I secretly want, and I want to see all altcoins shoot to the heavens. I'm just trying to be realistic here and show you things that I'm looking at. When Bitcoin was at 42K previously, which would be another 50% retracement if we get there again, the HBAR price chart per the circulating supply at that time of 19.5 billion was at 21 cents. The circulating supply since then has increased almost 30% to 25.2 billion. Now this was 2 weeks ago. The supply is a tad higher now. We can see about 51% on the right hand side. I'm a huge bull for the future of HBAR. Remember, this recent pump and even the transactions that we saw was just from one single partner. I cannot even fathom what utility could bring with 5 or a couple dozen or even all of the Hedera Council members leveraging dApps on Hedera. And I believe billions of transactions per day of HBAR would drive price up. Econ 101 with scarcity. So what I'm speculating in this video is when Bitcoin hits even 42K again, instead of HBAR going right back up to 21 cents, which it's possible, I would speculate that the increase in circulating supply would actually lower that just a tad. And in this video, we actually show it's about 16 cents. And all I did with this one, and I'm sure there's better ways, is took the market cap for HBAR at that time and applied that considering the new circulating supply. So that would take you to about 16 cents. Say about a 16 cent HBAR, okay? So now you're going to see me talking about 15 cents as well, and that's me trying to consider the increase in supply for this year as well. And once again, to be clear, if I thought HBAR only hit 16 cents, I would not be holding HBAR. I'm not interested in a 2-3x return. I'm here for generational wealth. I want the 10x, I want the 50x, I want the 1000x opportunities. But I'm just looking at other alts and looking for different confluences of a key level I want to see hit and then flipped into support. So that 15 to 16 cent zone is super interesting to me. Now turning the lights on and plotting the fibs using fetch, high to low. We'll draw fibs for HBAR as well. And this is on Binance, high to low. Where is that 236 level? 16 cents. That Bitcoin retracement at that level as well would be 16 cents. And then we can see right there a key resistance level. So that is a key zone that we have to turn into support. And then another confluence is the moving average I have right there. Notice that FET also, during its crazy parabolic impulse, has also hit that level to perfection. So these are just a couple things I'm looking at. Of course, we could go to RSI. We can look at the weekly. I just think that is a key level. We can look at order blocks, you name it. But the 236 retracement at 15-16 cents for HBAR is a very key level I want to see flipped into support before we can start talking about all-time high or $1 plus. And if you guys watched the other video, we also showed an open gap around 42 cents. What's 42 cents for HBAR? The 702. So that's an open gap that I do believe closes in the future. So for anybody on Twitter mad that I shared 15 cent for HBAR, that does not mean I think it stops there and never breaks through that. I was buying HBAR at launch all the way back in 2019. All I'm saying is if I see Bitcoin hit around that 42K zone, instead of thinking I'm going right to 21 cents, I would actually be more conservative and target that 15 to 16 cent zone. And even on the weekly time frame, we can see Fetch AI actually hit perfectly its weekly pivot. The pivot for HBAR is actually about 14 cents, which is also another confluence with these wicks down there. Remember QNT even last year when it did this 5x return, remember FET just did a 5x, wink wink, we can see it also hit its P pivot and then it retraced. So I'll tell you right now, if HBAR out of nowhere just keeps freaking flying, going all the way up to this P pivot, I have no issue with selling my trading bag and just waiting a couple weeks, a couple months to buy back lower. And I'm referring to a parabolic rise like Fetch. If something does a 5x return in a month, I have no issue taking profit. But if HBAR draws slow and steady, there's a bunch of wave counts, it's back testing levels properly, I'll probably hold a lot more for higher targets. And yes, I have long-term holds that are being staked I will not be touching for the coming years. It's great to see other assets are starting to pop off big time. And remember that Hashgraph has been building their butt off during this bear market. And we are at an all-time high just under 60 cents for HBAR. Everybody thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. It was one of the best projects out there because this, and this. But retail focuses on current price. And when we crashed 90% plus, it then becomes a scam. It's a bad project. Do you know how many people I saw on Twitter calling HBAR a scam under 4 cents? Just because the price isn't what you want it to be does not make something a scam. They are in their building phase. And when other assets do a 5, 10x, or 50x, it's the best thing ever. Now, some of them are super legit, like Fetch AI is super legit, and it was legit all the way back here. We covered this back in the day as well. I believe connections with Cambridge and just machine learning and creating agents, which is super, super interesting. And maybe Fetch just started skyrocketing after the ChatGPT bot and a lot of the AI narrative, which I think is going to be huge in the future. There's so many potential catalysts. So once again on Twitter, just posting a side-by-side between Fetch and Hedera. That is all. Showing what I can see. I did not see FET all the way up here, so I'm simply talking about the MA and a variety of confluences at that 15 to 16 cent zone for anybody that's been watching the channel for a while. If I didn't think HBAR could blast past $1 or $2 to $5 and beyond with utility, I would not be holding it. And keep in mind, there are other projects in this market and their circulating supply is only around 10%. That's a lot scarier than HBAR. It is in their best interest to have a valuable token and a valuable network in the future. Let's go to CoinMarketCap really quick. We'll go to historical snapshot. And let's go to 2021 when the altcoin market or the total market cap was a tad higher. Let's do Halloween. And we can see at this time, Hedera's market cap was $6 billion. And you want to know why I still think the crypto market today is in its infancy stage and is still a joke, because we have alts like Shiba Inu and DOGE pushing just under a $40 billion market cap. Let's actually check out DOGE and see what its all-time high market cap was as well, just because I'm curious. All-time high market cap was around $80 billion. Let's do 80 billion divided by the current market cap for HBAR. That's a factor of 47. So let's take that factor of 47 and multiply it by 0.067, or the current price of HBAR. And right there, if HBAR reached the all-time high market cap of Dogecoin, that would be over a $3 HBAR with the current circulating supply. And I know there's a community in Doge. I'm not trying to make fun of you guys. I know Elon Musk helps pump it up, and there is certain things being used for Doge in the payment space. But what do you think Hedera can do with actual utility in the future? I think it can surpass the market cap all-time high of Dogecoin, which would be $3 plus. And what about in the coming years when the remaining 49% is now in circulation? That's still over $1.50 HBAR, maybe even $2. Because there would eventually be scarcity. Remember, the total supply for HBAR is finite. I know there's a minuscule burn rate as well, but that is finite. When people hold it, when they stake it, that's reducing the circulating supply, and there can be a supply shock. So right there, I just showed you a $3 HBAR. And I provided at least my thoughts and some reasoning behind it, whether you agree or not. I'm trying to show you my thought process and the way I see things, whether it's too conservative and boring for you or whether it's way too hypey. I guess I should just start saying HBAR to $100 to get clicks. JK. So that is just one example. Remember, the market cap is back at 1 trillion. Let's pull up the macro view as well. And you can apply this to other altcoins. So looking at the total market capitalization of all of crypto since 2013, you either believe in the value add of the crypto asset class or you don't. You either think crypto is the biggest bubble ever, everything's going to zero, or you believe that this asset class not only survives but thrives. Yes, I believe we can reach trillions and trillions, surpassing the previous high. You have to understand, an asset class that is just over 10 years old is a baby when we're comparing to other legacy infrastructure that has been around for over 100 years. Real estate is over 300 trillion, derivatives is over 1 quadrillion, and on the low end 600 trillion. Global equities over 100 trillion. And crypto's out here sitting at 1% of that value, and there's people still saying crypto's going to zero. When in doubt, zoom out. I believe we surpassed 3, 5, 8 trillion, etc. Now, some people will criticize HBAR and say, oh, well, the market cap's already big, I'm going for low caps. Be my guest, but I have a lot of exposure to HBAR because I believe in the future they're still going to survive. When you find an ecosystem and the HBAR Foundation allocating over $360 million to build on their platform, I think they have the funds to survive the coming years, yes. And if you'd like to learn more about the partnerships, be sure to check out the playlist for Hedera on my YouTube channel. So I know everybody is super bearish right now. If Bitcoin goes back down to 20K, everybody's calling crypto a scam, just like always. But you have to zoom out, you have to focus on the macro. If I did not study the fundamentals during a bear market, I would get nervous and probably sell out of impatience, but also frustration. So you don't have to agree with me with anything I share here, guys. This is just my opinion. What works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. And I posted this on Instagram the other day. There is no perfect method for investing, trading, or living your life. All methodology is ego, just like Alan Watts says. There's no right way, there's just your way. And I can only tell you what has worked for me over the years, with the hope that you can walk away with something helpful for your own journey. If you don't like it, that's fine. Take what you like and discard the rest. We all have different styles, strengths, time horizons, skills, and risk profiles. And I'll finish up with this thought. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and big thanks to anybody that likes and subscribes. Let me know your thoughts down below. It's ironic that during a bull run, when an altcoin is at an all-time high price, most retailers say it's a good project, primarily due to recent price action. And of course, if you make money in an altcoin, you're going to like the project. But if you're buying it during the peak and then it's crashing, eventually you're going to be the biggest hater of the project. And ironically, during the bear market, when that same alt is down 90% plus, most retailers usually call it quits and say it's a bad project, scam, because they're focused on the current price. And in reality, some of these projects have been building their butts off through this bear market, and the fundamentals, ironically enough, are 10 times better now than they were during its previous all-time high price. For example, Hedera, having over 3 billion transactions on mainnet, a variety of new partners and platforms actually being built, testing with the digital commodity exchange, and using Hedera's Hashgraph for fraud mitigation, working on Toko, the tokenization engine. This can go into tokenization of globally illiquid assets, securities, real estate, you name it. We have gaming and NFT utility and marketplaces and wallets and new infrastructure in every single direction being built. So in my opinion, for a few projects, the fundamentals are 10 times better now than they were during their previous all-time high price. And to finish up with a quote from Wayne Gretzky, "I skate to where the puck is going to be, not where it has been." If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate hitting the like button and subscribing. Let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, my link tree is linked right in the top of this YouTube video description with all links, crypto resources, and discounts. I'll catch you in the next one.